Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord Let's Play. So we're back at Karis, where all things happen for our faction. And I've done a little bit of work on the Black Knights of Karis. So I'm going to leave the town real quick just so we can zoom in on this. It's unfortunately not going to let me get too close to the... You know what, let's try to go to the kingdom screen, maybe we can get a better look. So if we go to our clan, here we go. So De Millarn is going to be the Black Knight clan within our faction. And you can see I've given them some new heraldry. Somebody on Reddit made some fantastic versions of the Warhammer Fantasy Imperial banners. And I don't remember which particular sub-kingdom of the Empire this one is. But I've changed it a little bit. I've removed some of the references to certain things within Warhammer Fantasy. Such as the Sigmarite Comet and stuff like that. And I've changed the name on the little banner across the front here to say Karis. So the Black Knights will be repping that as their heraldry. We're going to make sure it shows up on their shields and stuff, so they should look pretty awesome. And again, I'm going to use that particular person's Warhammer banners a bunch in this playthrough. I'm eventually going to transition my heraldry over to one of them as well. But for now, we're going to stick with our current one. And I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm still looking for submissions for who the two leaders of this faction will be. I'm going to reskin these guys and rename them. I've got one submission so far. I'd love to have a few more to choose from. We have, obviously, two slots, so I believe Heckard is the leader of the clan, so whoever we decide to make the Grand Master of our Knightly Order will replace Heckard, but Peric will get replaced as well with maybe the vice captain something, I don't know, whatever the second ranking person is within the order. So that's something I'd like to do. What else? So we're in Karis, and I've been scouting around. I've been fighting Valandian lords here and there. Let me go back into our town here and I'll just show you very quickly. I've taken a few more of them captive. So I have Durthert himself, Allery, Morkin, Ingulthur, Morkin with an A, and Amalgan. So I have these 6 lords captive. And the Valandians are at war with at least one other faction, if not 2. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to go on the offensive. I scouted Sargot, and the garrison there is only like 180 or something, and that's combined with the militia. So I think we can take Sargot so long as nobody intervenes. It'll be close because our numbers aren't great, even with Heckard's party joining us. But I think we can take it, and then what I'll try to do is throw as much money at the next Valandian lord that we see to make peace. We can kind of just stop there for now. We don't want to overextend. I'd rather bring some more lords in before I, expand too far, because we won't be able to sustain this. I can't defend everything at once myself. So let's start heading in that direction, and we'll talk a little bit more about our plan. So Sargot, I think, is perfect because it's another town relatively close to our current holdings. And also it belongs to Durthert, so it's not something that we could get peacefully until the Valandians are completely destroyed. So this is great in that we're gaining land, but we're not taking land that we could gain through other means, like recruiting a new lord into our faction. So, for example, with Jakulan, we could go talk to whoever the leader of that clan is and maybe get them to join, and then we would get Jakulan peacefully. We can't do that with Sargot, so that's the other reason why I'm going to besiege this rather than just try to take it peacefully. Also, more income, more potential recruits, etc., etc. I'm thinking for the initial layout of our kingdom here, I'd like to kind of stay along the water here. If this were, the European, Asian, African sort of tri-continent area, and this was the Mediterranean, I'd like to stay along the Mediterranean Sea for the initial part of our kingdom springing up. Sargot is obviously a slight departure from that, but not by much. So after we take this, again, I'll try to make peace. We can try to expand diplomatically a bit further, but I'll probably stay south of this river. But our next war might be with the Western Empire here for... we could take Thraktor Castle, Garantor Castle, and Ortesia. And that would be a nice little slice of Calradia for us to hold for a while. And then we could consider pushing east, but I think that's a pretty good initial starting area for us. So now that we've arrived, there's nobody around. Our party has healed up a little bit. I still have 17 wounded, and I'm curious to see if any of my prisoners are ready to join up. I've got a recruit that can level up there. None at the moment, which is unfortunate. I'm keeping a ton of Valandian prisoners because I'm trying to recruit as many as I can, but unfortunately we don't seem to be getting very many very fast, so we'll have to continue waiting on that. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin our siege here. I'm going to use similar tactics to what I've used before. That being, I really think that the battering ram is the key to everything. The towers don't seem to be especially useful. They're too slow. So instead what I'm going to do is once we get the ram built, I'm going to build a bunch of fire onagers. I'll put them into reserve as quickly as possible so they don't get damaged here. And then we're going to jump into the battle. And I may not build all of these. I'm basically going to wait and see what happens, and I'm going to start this siege whenever it's most opportune for us. Or excuse me, the assault whenever it's most opportune for us. Because I don't want to wait so long that, you know, a large party comes up and runs us off the spot here. I also would like to have as much of an advantage going into this assault as possible. So there's Calradian. She's probably going to attack us. We don't even have a ram yet. So we're probably going to have to fight her, which is unfortunate. I might need to leave this and go engage her, because if I fight here, these guys will join in. And then we're looking at being pretty well outnumbered, versus if I go engage her there, this should be a relatively easy victory. Yes, she has superior numbers, but most of that's going to be recruits. Let's see. 94 recruits, and I'm guessing that's only for her slice of the army, or that could be the whole thing. But anyways, it's going to be mostly recruits, so it should be a pretty easy victory for us. Yeah, and she's going to turn and run. Not fast enough, however. Cervic has a quest. We can't currently do anything about that, though. Let's actually talk to her. So, she is the... That's right, she's the leader of De Aromank, which is the holder of Jaculan. So if we could recruit her, that's going to be a major swing in our favor. Let's talk to her and see if we can maybe make this happen. Roland, it's been a while. We, of course, know her pretty well. We don't have very good relations with her, but we have, you know, had many dealings with her in the past. So, let's see here. Stay your hand. Perhaps we don't have to come to blows. Calradian, Durthard is not worthy of your loyalty. What are you saying exactly? I'm saying that I'm the rightful ruler of the Valandians, and I would like your support. Okay, so I barely know you, and you're asking me to talk treason. I feel like we know each other a little bit better than that. It's probably coming from the poor relations we have with her. It looks like our first option has a 39% of critical success, or we could just kind of pass on it. I'm going to go with this, though. You're known as a woman of honor. You may know me as one, as not a woman of honor, but you may know me as a man of honor as well. Ineffective, unfortunately. Alright, no, I'm not entirely comfortable discussing this with you. Right. I gave an oath to my liege. To break it, even for a good reason, would be a stain on my honor. We have two options here, both of which are equally likely in success. Is she honorable? Let's get a look at her traits again. So she's close-fisted but honest. Which of these... if she's honest, I don't think that this is something that she would necessarily be inclined to go along with. So, if he ever violated his oath to you, it absolves you of your duty to him. Again, ineffective. We're not doing so hot. No, that's not enough. I've always stood by Durthert. Whether Durthert has stood by me or not is another question. Well, this is almost equally likely to succeed regardless, but put your interest in the good of the realm first. There's too much at stake for that. Well, that's one success. And we're not going to be able to probably succeed here, but we'll continue trying. You have no claim to the throne. Even in the unlikely case that others follow you, another usurper will just rise up to defeat you. I have a strategy to win. My strategies always work, eventually. So there's another success. We only needed one of those criticals to go through, but unfortunately they both failed. So we can try again, I think, the next season. But for now, we are going to have to do battle. So, we've got you cornered. Yield or we shall attack. Well, you're the one who ought to surrender. My army is far more battle-tested than yours, but let's do this. Okay, so it looks like Lyanna's going to lead the infantry. Heckard's going to lead the infantry as well. The archers, I'm assuming. And then the cavalry, I'll probably take control of myself. I wonder how aggressive they're going to be here. This is a pretty good spot. I'm not all that inclined to move off of it. So let's put our archers up atop that hill maybe. Infantry can go down slope and we'll hide the cavalry here, I think. And I'm going to do a bit of scouting, because I'd like to see where the enemy is and what they're doing. So they're in this general area. I can't tell if they are advancing. Looks like they are. That's fine by me. If they want to come do battle over here, I'm more than happy to oblige. But it looks like they might be... no, they're advancing. They might move up to this hill here and stop. If that's the case, though, I don't really have a problem with that. Let's get the archers a bit more spread out. And we'll try to get them kind of scattered across the ridge there. Hopefully they can see the enemy well enough. If we have to move them down slope a bit, that's fine too. You may notice I have a lot more archers than anything else, but most of them are actually not archers. Or it's probably about 50-50. There's a lot of recruits and footmen in there with spears. They don't have shields, so I don't trust them in our front line. But I do trust them to ward off cavalry trying to attack my archers. Infantry, go ahead and move up. Cavalry, split out that way. And I'm going to ask you to charge and engage their cavalry. And infantry, go ahead and advance. Archers, keep doing your thing. There's a big breakthrough happening over here. Let's dispatch some of them. Oh, hello, Mr. Sergeant. I'm going to trample you. Cavalry, I'm going to assign you to an AI commander, just to ensure that you guys aren't kind of doing anything too stupid, because I can't micromanage them very well if I'm also fighting. Looks to be going pretty well in our favor. Meant to draw my sword there. Too many people running around. Can't really track what's going on. Here we go. 92 and he didn't fall. Okay. My archers seem to be relatively safe. Their cavalry seems, or excuse me, their cavalry. Their infantry looks like it's in full rout mode. My infantry is just kind of running around. Let's get them over here, where the enemy infantry is. I'm going to go back to focusing on issuing orders. I think my men can handle it without me, joining the fight necessarily. So keep pushing this way. I need you in the thick of this battle over here, men. Let's get some of these guys. Or maybe not. Oh, okay, I thought for sure that hit you, but I suppose it didn't. My infantry's fighting. Let's stay away from that spear. Oh boy. What just hit my horse? This is not where I want to be right now. Fighting on foot. Alright, well if you're going to flee, I have an axe in the back for you. Or maybe I don't. Okay, well, I tried. Archers, come down slope. Infantry, go ahead and charge. Cavalry should already be charging. I'm going to mount this horse if it will let me. I'm not skilled enough. Right, well... Okay, I think they've got that under control. Alright, so as the last of the enemy makes it off the battlefield, we have our victory. I've sent the archers after them, but I think it's too late. Yeah, I don't know who's still left. Okay, there it is. Cool. So, how did we do? The enemy didn't do very well at all. We did quite well. Less than 50 total casualties combined. They had about 200. So we did really well there. That's like a 1-to-4 ratio. I don't really care about theirs. I lost 7 and had another 14 wounded. Heckard lost 9 and Liana lost 7. What did I lose from my party? It looks like it was pretty scattered. Some assorted infantry and 3 cavalry. Okay, so not too bad. Alright, I'm good with that. Alright, Servik, you are my prisoner now. Let me see. Yeah, you're not somebody I would consider trying to recruit, so I'm not that worried about relation with you. Let's go ahead and just take him prisoner. Apparently he's the only one we caught. As far as troops go, I'll take whatever I can get, because I have a pretty high party limit at the moment that I'm not even remotely close to approaching yet. We'll get everybody upgraded. I'm most concerned with getting us more infantry. So any of these recruits are going to go the way of the footmen, which unfortunately for us is still part of our archers. A lot of prisoners as well, but I don't really have time to go and drop them off, so I might just have to sort of leave them be. I'll recruit all of these guys though. Let's see, let's get you up with the cavalry. Volunteers can stay down there. Mr. Spearman, you're going to join the infantry up here. Cool. So that does give me a little bit of room. How many slots is that? Like 6. So I think I'll take the gallants. Or what's the most elite? Probably the champion, right? I'll take the champion. Probably take the sergeants. What else? Hardened crossbowman is like 1 tier away from sharpshooter. Oh, but there's sharpshooters here. Okay, so I'll take all of them. Is there anything I can get rid of? These hillmen don't need to be in here. I'll get rid of the footmen too. Okay, so that puts me 4. I'll take the vanguard, I guess. And I'd like to take more gallants, but I'll probably just leave it there. I can take 2 of them and still be under, so I'll do that. Okay, we'll take all the loot. And now we can return to our siege. That's Thomond right there. Calatilde is here. I don't think we'll catch her. No, we won't. So let's just get back to our siege. We'll probably be seeing her soon. Alright, so again, we're going to queue up the ram and a couple... Oh, look, Osper is coming to attack us now. This is fun. I won't bother continuing the siege then. Let's just go fight him. They're not interested in the fight. Of course, they will attack me if I'm in range of reinforcement over here. Alright. Let's see what they decide to do. Time is not really on my side here, so I would appreciate it if you guys would just get on with this. Alright, so I've caught Osper. He's actually somebody that I wouldn't mind joining our party. Unfortunately, he hates us even more than Calatilde does. So, he's probably not going to be very receptive, but we'll try anyways. The other downside is that Daegunric is a northern faction. So they have land, but it's way, way up in the northern part of Valandian territory. We'll still try, though. Now then, come no closer. Forgive me, but one cannot be too cautious. I would ask you for your name. I'm Roland, and who are you? Mosper of the Dagunrik. We hold our lands in fief to Durthert, king of the Valandians, and we honor our oaths of fealty. I am Lord of Ostakin. I know your name. I hear you defeated my ally Calatild in battle. We did, but there's something I'd like to discuss. I will hear you. I shall assume that you will not suggest anything dishonorable. That's exactly what I'm about to suggest. In fact, I don't think Durthert is worthy of your loyalty, and I'm asking you to commit treason. I barely know you, and you're asking me to talk treason? Indeed, I am. Let's see if we can appeal to his charm, or appeal to with our charm to his honor. There we go. I barely know you, and you're asking me to talk treason? You're a man of honor, and you may know me as one as well. And that was ineffective, unfortunately. Apparently he doesn't know us as a man of honor. No, I'm not entirely comfortable discussing this with you. I gave an oath to my liege. To break it, even for a good reason, would be a great stain on my honor. Well, if he ever violated his oath to you, it absolves you of any duty to him. There we go. Unfortunately, that wasn't a critical success. Yeah, you might be correct. I've always stood by Durthert. Whether Durthert has stood by me or not is another question, however. Well, put your interest in the good of the realm first. There's too much at stake otherwise. Okay, we need a critical success on this last one. Luckily, we do have an option that may yield that for us. You have no claim to the throne. Even in an unlikely case that others follow you, another usurper will just rise up to defeat you. So I think this is because he is daring, but we have the option to appeal to his valor. You are known for your valor. There we go. Fortune favors the bold. Together we will win this war quickly. And unfortunately, we didn't get that 59% critical. Alright, so we couldn't quite make it there. Then we must do battle. I have no wish to fight you. You came here looking for a fight, so you're going to get one. Okay, so it looks like we're going with more or less the same plan of attack that we had last time. I assume that the enemy is going to be relatively aggressive once again, so I'm going to pull my men back up this incline. And we will just kind of hold position and let them come to us. Ooh, actually, it looks like there's some relatively strong territory up here. Maybe I should have moved forward rather than back. While they're shifting back that way, I'll scout this out, because it may not be too late. You know what? No, we couldn't actually take up position on top of that, so forget it. This is fine. It'll be difficult to flank us back here. So, archers, if you would be so kind as to pull back in a loose formation. Let's say right about here. Right, oh, actually we're right on the edge, okay. Well, not too far back then. Infantry, let's get you down slope. There aren't very many of you, but we need you to hold the line. And cavalry, I'm going to ask you guys to split out over here, I think. That should give them cover in the rock, from the rocks, excuse me. Oh god, too many people moving. Right, so the enemy shouldn't be able to see the cavalry until they're like right in front of us, because they're going to be blocked by all of that out there. Oh, they're holding position, okay. In that case, hold on a moment. I see a black knight in there. Where's your shield, friend? I need to see it. Ah, it's covered. Any more black knights with shields? Unfortunately, they didn't bring a whole lot. Ah, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to make sure that their actual troop tree doesn't have any bosses on the shields like this. You guys aren't moving, right? Okay. So it'll be like this shield here. Oh, that one still has a boss on it. But, yeah, so that's the plan anyways. No bosses to disrupt the awesome heraldry on there. I think I'll push up to, let's see, where's the enemy holding? Actually pretty far back. Wow. I can't even see them yet. So we could maybe advance into these hills here, but I'm guessing they will probably try to intercept us if we go for that. So it might be better to move up over here. It's going to be harder for them to prevent us from taking this position. So I'm going to move the archers here. We'll put the infantry down slope and the cavalry can set up there. And, oh, are they across like a ravine or something? If that's the case, it actually works in my favor because I definitely have the advantage when it comes to ranged troops. So if we just get into a straight archer battle, that is a battle that I will win very easily. Alright, so they're going to hold position. I'm going to move my archers up to here. We'll put the infantry just behind them, ready to advance on a moment's notice. And the cavalry, we can split out to that flank. The cavalry, I probably should have waited. You guys are going to be a little bit early, aren't you? You know what, though? Let's get my lance out. This is a good spot to maybe set up right here. Could also set up a nice flanking maneuver if we were so inclined using, this is defilade. Okay, so there's not a creek there. Just a slight ravine. Moving the archers up may prompt the enemy to charge, so keep an eye out. Their cavalry is going to be hard-pressed to do anything, though, because they're going to have to charge across that. Alright, archers. Go ahead and let loose.
Hold fire! Fire!
Give them the fire at will order, just in case they were holding. Maybe they can't see. Let's get them a little bit closer.
Footmen! Forward!
No, they're getting some kills. I don't think all of them are firing at the moment. It might be better to move them over here. We are getting kills, though. So, I think patience is going to be the key here. Alright, cavalry, push up to this spot. Infantry, advance in front of the archers. I can't quite see the enemy. Here we go. Infantry, advance. Cavalry, get going. Go ahead and charge. Archers, move over here. And let's see, can I alter your facing to change in that direction? So we're going to form a big line over there, up the slope. Oh, I skewered two of them there. Let's not get my horse murdered. Gotta watch my cavalry. I'm going to tell the cavalry to, or excuse me, the commander to take charge of them so that I can focus on fighting for a bit. We're actually taking some losses here, which is unfortunate. The archers are lined up for plenty of kills, though. So hopefully they can capitalize on that. We're still taking losses, however. Oh man, right through that guy's head. Those guys are, I think, a little bit too far away. I'll double back to deal with these guys. Oh, hello. Were you trying to stab me in the back there? Alright, I see how it is. I need a little bit more space if I'm going to fight this guy. Oh, that was well early. Okay, fine, we'll get the sword out. Where'd you go? Oh, now he's going polearm. Why can I not hit you? It looks like he's in range. There we go. Okay. I see more enemy cavalry there. That seems to be all that's really left in the fight. They seem to linger on the battlefield much longer than anything else. Alright, you guys are all friendly. Let's push them up to maybe here. Alright, he's done. Anybody else? Nope. Doesn't really look like it. Alright, we have our victory. Oh, there's another guy with a Black Knight shield. Okay, so I lost 11. So I'm guessing Heckard and Leanna split the rest pretty evenly. What did I lose? 2 battalion volunteers. I don't really care about that at all. The billman kind of sucks. The sergeants really hurt. Oh, one of them was Dester. Dester can't actually die, so that's fine. Alright, Vartan. Let's see. Yeah, you're not somebody I would consider recruiting either, so you're my prisoner. Belgier. Let's see. Belgier. De Fortes. You're not somebody I would recruit. What about the rest of your clan? Oh, Istin's a part of your clan. Interesting. Maybe a distant uncle or something? Well, that's so weird because it says he's part of my clan, but he's actually also part of this clan. I wonder if Belgier dies, does that mean Istin becomes the leader of this clan? And he would inherit this territory? That's something to consider. I don't know that I would execute him for that, but it is a thought that if Belgier goes and Istin inherits Oxhall and Varrickson Castle, that would definitely help us. Either way, I'm going to make him my prisoner now. Looks like we inherited a bunch of troops here. I'm going to take them all just because they'll all help with our siege. And I can throw them in the garrison later if they're not something I want to be taking the field with. Let's get all of our troops leveled up that can be leveled up. Let's see. Spearmen? No, we want infantry. We need swords for sieges. Can't level you up, so that'll be that then. As far as prisoners go, I have room for 2. So what is the most elite thing here? The Banner Knight for sure, and then probably the regular knights as a close second. Okay, all the loot. Maybe now we can get back to our siege. Hopefully we've defeated... doesn't look like we've defeated everybody because Aldrich is on his way. So we may as well go and meet him head on. So it looks like it's just Aldrich. Now, Aldrich is our father-in-law. I don't really like him. He is a bit shady. However, he does like us more than anybody else. It may be worth trying to bring him into our faction solely because he is technically family. I'm sure Leanna wouldn't appreciate us offing him, even if he is, again, well, you know what? I say that, but the negative traits that he has are probably the most benign of the negative traits. So he's close-fisted and he's cautious. So he's not very generous and he's not very brave. But that's not necessarily the makings of a bad person. So, yeah, let's talk to him. Because he could be a valuable ally. Obviously, he's fielding one of the larger armies we've seen from a Vlandian Lord. Excuse me, parties, because this is only him, all 121. My friend, fate clearly loves to watch old friends fight. Still, don't think I won't do my duty. Alright, so let's discuss this. Aldrich, you should join us instead of that coward Durthert. Right, so we've got a 39% success rate here. Again, for that critical success chance. Let's go ahead and roll for it. So you may know me as a man of honor. It was ineffective. So that's going to make it almost impossible for us to succeed now. I gave an oath to my liege. If he ever violated his oath to you, it absolves you of your duty to him. That's an easy success there. We almost always get that second one. Durthert and I have been through a great deal together. Again, we'll go with putting his own interests and the greater good of the realm first. 59% chance was successful there. Okay. So you have no claim to the throne. Even in the unlikely case that others follow you, another usurper will just rise up and defeat you. We have 2 59s and a 19. Right. So I don't know if he values honor or calculating more. Since he is not very high in valor, I'm guessing he's more calculating. So let's appeal to that. I have a strategy to win, and my strategies always work. Critical failure. Okay, then I guess we're going to do battle with our father-in-law. It's unfortunate. We're 0 for 3 today. After having a relatively easy time bringing over the other clan last time around. Or was that the episode before? Anyway, it's time to fight. I'm not going to let him go on his way because he's going to ambush us during our siege. Try to use the garrison to his advantage, so we have to dispatch him here. Alright, so I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive here. I don't know that he's going to move at all from his current spot. So I'm going to try to capitalize on that by seizing the high ground here. And it is quite high, as you can see. The issue is whether or not it's going to be close enough. Actually, no, they are on the move. In that case, let's do this. Archers, get here. Infantry, go there. Cavalry, stick to the open field, please, because you're going to have a hell of a time navigating this. Yeah, they're moving. So we're going to turn this little valley here into a killing field. Archers, please spread out. And you can spread out that way a bit more. Infantry, I'd like you in a shield wall. And you're going to be occupying this, the front of this slope here, if I can position you how I want. There we go. Okay, you guys can move up a little bit more. Looks like they're holding back there. Okay. So they did kind of rush forward and then stop. That might have been better positioning up there. Let me scout this out because we can still try to move our archers. It might be hard to do. Are you guys on the move? Cavalry certainly is. Yeah, they're moving. Okay. Sharpshooters are doing their work and doing it well. Hopefully our infantry can hold. There's not a lot of them. Yeah. Look at these archers go. Alright, infantry. I'm going to advance them now. Cavalry charge. Oh, we're going to get hit here. Oh, I clipped him. Barely. Let's kind of trample our way through here. I thought for sure I got a hit off on that guy, but I did not, apparently. Excuse me, pardon me. Who's that with the banner? We can't have that. Oh, Squire just went by. Archers, move up. Need you firing downhill into the enemy. Let's skewer this guy. Oh god, he survived that somehow. Well, apparently my friend there dispatched him. Infantry, I'm going to hand you over to your commander, probably Leanna. You guys can do your thing. Archers, keep shooting. This is more or less over. But let's make sure we dispatch as many of his army as we can, so we don't see them later. Okay, can I reach you? Yeah, apparently I can. Poke. And get you as well. Making peasant kebabs here. Oh, got him right before he went off the map. I think that's about it, yeah. Very, very few losses there, in fact. Yeah, extremely minimal casualties for us, which is fantastic. Only one death, even. And it was probably like a peasant or something. Yeah, Battanian volunteer, so not even one of our own. Feels a little dirty having so many sharpshooters in our party. The enemy just can't seem to stand up to it, but I'm not about to go easy on them. Yeah, we've got 24 sharpshooters now. Looter, I can't upgrade. The Imperial Recruit, let's get some infantry. Just because they'll be a little bit more useful come siege time. I'm going to have to cut some of these guys loose because I'm over capacity. I do not want these champions or banner knights running away, so I would much rather lose, say, or these guys either. They're much more likely to flee, or escape, excuse me, if I'm over capacity. So, let's see, armed trader. I like keeping crossbows around for my garrisons, so I might have to cut the infantry loose, which kind of hurts me as well because I would really like to have them. Maybe I'll just get rid of the highwaymen. Got a lot of gallants. Could probably spare a couple. Yeah, let's drop them down to 12. Okay, once again, we'll take all the loot. Now, maybe we can finally complete our siege here, or at least get a little bit further along with it. We still have plenty of men. Thankfully, in a couple of those battles, we were able to take on additional troops out of their prisoner trains. So while we are sort of down a few men, we're not down nearly as many as you would think after 3 massive battles. Alright, so again, the plan, battering ram, fire onagers. I will build as many as I can, but if I notice that my town is coming under siege or something, we're just going to assault this as quickly as possible. So while we continue building our siege engines, it looks like I have a perk I need to choose. Yeah, we hit 50 in leadership, so I can be an aspiring attacker or a star defender. Let's see. Additional 20 morale at the beginning of battles when you are attacking, or an additional 20 morale at the beginning of battles when you're defending. So, this is a tough choice because I attack a lot more than I defend. But if I'm defending, it usually means that I'm not in a great position, therefore the morale might be more necessary. If I'm attacking, it's obviously a battle that I've chosen to fight. Therefore, our morale is probably pretty good already. And if we're likely to win, then we don't really need the morale to kind of, push us over the hump. Versus if I'm defending, it generally means that I'm in a battle I didn't necessarily want to fight, but had to fight. And that little bit of extra morale could be the difference. So I think I'm going to go with defender. Okay, so that was, I believe, the only thing I had to choose. While I'm in here, is anybody else in need of anything? I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so that'll be it. We have our camp done. The ram is almost complete. We see some Valandian lords starting to hover around this territory, which is always a bit concerning, but until they form up a party big enough to run me off, it's not really something worth putting too much stock into. Also, keep in mind they are at war with other factions, so for example, the Battanians might come and attack them and run them off for me. Alright, so Sturgia has just signed a declaration of peace with Battania. I, again, believe that Battania is at war with Valandia, so that could work in our favor, in that the Battanians will be able to focus more on their western front now that their northeastern front has closed. We're about to finish up our first fire onager here, so I'm going to pause and move it to reserve before it gets bombarded by ballista bolts. So one thing I've noticed is even though I paused and moved it, it says it still hit the ranged engines in my army. So that thing did still take damage, which is kind of annoying because it was obviously in reserve before they even fired, but that's something I've noticed happens quite often. Alright, so something big has just happened. Our wife gave birth during the siege here, so we now have a son. I need to name him. So what do I want to name him? I'm gonna look up some names and see what I like. Okay, so I just googled Norman given names, and I found one that I kind of like in Aubin. But if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to throw them my way. We can always change the name later. But this is what I'll go with for now. So let's lock that in. And I am curious, if we go to our clan, so family, Liana shows up, Aubin now shows up, and I thought it said he was male, but that looks, it's very difficult to tell. I hope that it was male, otherwise I need to come up with a new name. Let's see. Where's your encyclopedia entry? Can I not access it from here? Maybe I can't. Traits are good though. Wow, you have fantastic traits. Looks like he took them all from his mother. So he's generous, honest, daring, and merciful. Clan role is going to be none for now. And for whatever reason, they're always in Chaikan when they're born. You can't actually access them or whatever. But eventually they will come and join us at a certain point. So, cool. We have a kid. Fantastic. And we got one relatively early, which is great because our characters are, relatively young, but still, if you don't have children early in this game, you will almost never get to see them in your campaigns. Unless you play for a really, really long time. I guess Durthert made it out of my dungeon because he just ran by. Let's move you into reserve. And that gives me 2 fire onagers. I think that'll be enough. They chose to build all ballista, which aren't especially deadly. I think we need to go ahead and capitalize on the situation we have now and lead the assault. We've got 2 fire onagers. We've got the ram. They have a bunch of ballista, which isn't especially dangerous. And let's see. If Durthert were to join up with somebody, he could have a large enough force to, force us off this spot, especially if Lukend jumped in as well. So let's do this now. Okay, so here's the layout for this battle. It looks like we're going to go ahead and assault like a relatively straightforward wall setup here. There's no outcroppings or anything except for this little half tower on the left there. And it looks like they don't even have proper walls. This is just a wooden palisade for the most part all the way around. So ladders are going to be more than sufficient here. It's not a very far climb. We've got an onager back here and another one over there. It looks like that's pretty much our only option unless we want to move one forward. But I think having them a bit further back is probably for the best. They're going to have better range than the ballista will. So I think having them further back is going to make things a little bit safer for them. Meanwhile, the ram looks like it has a pretty straightforward approach to the gate. Hopefully we can keep that thing alive. Otherwise we're going to be very reliant on the ladders, which I'm assuming, can we see them from here? Maybe they're not spawned in yet. It's difficult to tell. It's not exactly the best view right here. But I'm guessing they're probably here. It's got to be like either there or there. Maybe there's one in each. And then probably over here there'll be another set. So one on each side of the gatehouse. We've got the ram going up the middle and fire onagers covering us. I think we should be able to handle this. Let's go ahead and begin our assault. Right, so Roland has traded out his lance for a Volge. He's not much for two-handed weapons, but we're going to try to change that here, get a little bit of practice in. For starters, I'm just going to hang back. I don't want to lose all my HP before we even get, a chance to fight. I'd like to storm the gate with these men once the ram has done its job. Okay, so archers are taking up positions over there. Hopefully somebody's making a break for the ladders. Doesn't really look like they are. There's a group over there that's kind of shifting out, but I wish they were moving with just a little bit more, or a greater sense of urgency, I guess. Everybody's moving real slow, which is fine for these guys. They've got to wait for the ram, but they need to be storming those walls as soon as possible, because as soon as they're fighting in melee on the walls, the sooner this stream of fire arrows and bolts stops. So that's what I'd like to see. I'm going to try to keep pace with this, I guess. I might dismount and just walk with them. In fact, I think that's what I'll do. Oh. My horse just threw me there. I think it took a bolt in the head. Alright, they're breaking off for some reason. That's okay. Oh, I can one-hand this thing? That's pretty badass. Why do we keep losing men? Not dead. I mean, why do we keep having people run off to the flanks? I don't see the ladders going up yet. It'd be nice if they would get on that. Sharpshooters are getting some kills. I'm going to stick with this thing. Do I need to help push? Can I help push? Yeah, let's lead by example. Why am I on fire? That's unfortunate. Oh wow, so many casualties for us. Come on, men. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, let's join in. Come on, we got this. Once these gates are down, it's over for them. Alright, it's almost through. One or two more good hits. Oh, that didn't do much. Come on. There it is. Alright. Let's start whacking this thing down. Can I do overhand swings? That's probably going to do a bit more damage. Oh, and now I'm completely blocked out. Oh, wow. We just had a bunch of people die. What the hell happened there? That's something I'd expect to see if we had siege towers, but we don't have siege towers, so I don't know what happened right there. They don't have onagers either, so I don't know what would have done AoE damage. Nobody's throwing fire pots down on our head. We would have been part of that if that was indeed what happened. Come on, we're almost through. This is turning into a war of attrition, and that's not the type of battle I want to be a part of. Alright, come on, men. Let's cut our way through. I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm trying to just bring this thing down on somebody's head, but I don't really seem to be making a whole lot of progress with it. Oh, somebody just stabbed me. Oh, hello. What do you think you're doing? Trying to cut us from behind. Overhand, overhand, overhand. Come on, there we go. How is that not hitting? I'm seeing it go right through the guy. Yeah, I don't know. We might need to circle around. Where is our backup? I'm going to do a shout here to kind of restore everybody's morale in the area. Am I alone? They must be storming the walls. So eventually I think they'll work their way back around, but for now it's just me over here. Oh, come on. That totally hit him in the body. Alright, you guys saw that. That went right through him. Okay, we've got some backup coming in from behind. That should hopefully turn their facing to the point where I can maybe do some damage. It looks like we've killed many of them up on the walls. And yeah, now we have a bunch of men swinging in from the sides. Don't work your way back around. Keep attacking them in the flanks. And I'll just keep them honest and facing this way, I guess. Alright, they're starting to rout. This is over. We lost almost half of our men. Not all of them are going to be dead, of course, but still a lot of casualties. There it is. We broke them. I wish I could have contributed with more kills, but all I could do was really pound on shields until help arrived. It looks like Iston is part of the group that did most of the damage, though. Good for him. Nice to see him leading the charge. Alright, we'll end this. Okay, so 19 of my party died. And it looks like it was pretty well distributed. So that's nice. Not a whole lot of cavalry dead, which is what I like to see. We lost some recruits, some sharpshooters. But all in all, we didn't lose too much of any one thing, which is nice. And again, 46 dead, 81 wounded. The enemy took a lot more casualties than we did, surprisingly. Because we were, of course, assaulting the place. But yeah, we did pretty good. Okay, so we didn't take any captives. I should probably pay more attention when I'm doing that, because I don't know if I'm losing valuable horses or not. Probably am. But yeah, no troops to join our army, unfortunately. So we're going to have to make do with what's already here. Maybe we have some prisoners ready to join us, though. Nothing to be done there. Yeah, a couple. See if we can get a few more. Both of those highwaymen, that's nice. Get some heavy cavalry. 2 of the lords we took prisoner have already escaped. I may as well take all the prisoners because I can leave them in the dungeon here. Somebody else is... Oh, the looter. Okay. Okay, we'll take all the loot available. Thief captured. We can pass this up for a vote, or I can just take it myself. I'm going to take it myself because I don't want the Black Knights to be holding a town. I may have them hold multiple castles, but as far as towns go, I'm going to try to keep those in the hands of the actual lords. And I don't know who Sargot is going to go to because this was held by Durthert. So it's not like there's anybody's ancestral land that I need to give back to them after they join us. So let's just keep it for now, and we'll figure out who we want to hand it to. I don't know if Lucan is going to be able to really do anything, so we'll just kind of let him run away. We'll head into town and take care of some administrative stuff. I'll grab this lone recruit here. And let's see. I'm going to unload a lot of the loot we've picked up. So, we'll start with armor. We don't need any of this. I'll keep the helmets. Or at least the valuable helmets. Some of the valuable helmets. You know what? That Imperial one can get sold. That's a tournament prize. I don't plan on using it. We got 52 of these hoods. I probably don't need that many. I'll keep 2 of them. The rest can go, because I can always rebuy those just about anywhere if I need them. Alright, so from armor alone, that's going to be 78k. Of course, most of that was just the one helmet, but that's still a pretty nice little prize. We can get rid of these shields. I have no use for them. I'll probably get rid of those as well. Keeping this stuff. Yeah, that's fine. I should have brought a crossbow with me. I probably would have been able to contribute a little bit more had I done that. But what are you going to do? Too late now. We're good on food. Anything else? I got 40 of these spears. I don't need nearly that many. So I'm just going to sell them all. The rest I think I'll try to smelt, unless there's something that's worth more just selling. But probably not. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. And that's probably it as far as selling things goes. So yeah, almost 80,000. That's going to bring us well over 200, probably to 250. Doesn't have enough money. Crap, I wasn't paying attention. In that case, we'll just take the one helmet back. And we can sell it somewhere else where they can't afford it. Yeah, I'm still going to get like 14,000 or something. He's got 63 more. But I don't really see anything I'd like to be rid of necessarily. So we'll just unload that. Okay, cool. Right. We've got some quests here. You want me to escort a merchant caravan. I probably don't have time for that. And you want me to fence stolen goods. I don't have anybody with very high roguery, so we're going to pass there. Let's do a bit of smithing. In fact, I'll do this off camera because I want to save time so that we can have a little tour of our new town. Alright, it's morning. So, we're going to go ahead and take a tour of our new settlement here. I'd like to see the town layout itself. Probably make some investments while we're here. And also check out the Lord's Hall to see if this is a place worth calling home. And then we look to have a celebratory tournament happening as well that we'll probably finish the episode with. So, let's start with taking a walk around the town center. Okay, so we saw plenty of the walls during our siege. Nothing to really write home about here. Just a very basic wooden palisade. We'll probably focus our efforts on upgrading this first and foremost because this place is going to be difficult to defend otherwise. Right, so it's pretty quiet here. Very humble town. So what's the layout look like? We've got carpenter right here, actually. Not an actual business, just the merchant himself. It looks like there's some back streets just behind this tavern, which might have some mercenaries for us. There's a pottery shop over there. One of the gang leaders hanging out in the middle of town. There's a pottery shop. Let's visit the local businesses. We'll see which location we like the best. Oh, this has some major texture bugs. Okay. That's fun. Probably not that one then. We'll see if that's a persistent issue in here, if it was just a freak thing. Right, so the olive press is back that way and the brewery's over here. Okay, so here's the olive press. Lighting's a bit weird in here too, but at least it's not pitch black. This is right outside the Lord's Hall, so whatever I decide to buy will probably be at this location. Even if it's something that exists elsewhere, I'll buy both, move it over here, and turn the other one into something else and sell it. I'd like to check out this brewery next. Looks like the brewer is actually over there. And then we'll head into the Lord's Hall, which at least it has its own wooden palisade. Okay, so here's the brewery. Yeah, major lighting bugs in this area for some reason. This is just right across from the olive press, not too far. Kind of in a quieter part of town, though. So, yeah, I think, again, if I'm going to buy something, it's going to be in the one just outside the the Lord's area. So we've got stables just outside the entrance to the keep. And it looks like the horse merchant right across from the stables. That's a good a place as any for him. So we go through here. It looks like there is a little murder hole there. I don't know if we can even get up there, though. I don't think the sieges are actually meant to, let you come back this far, even though they, do have defensible areas back here that you could make use of. So I would enter the hall there. The dungeon is over here. I don't know that we need to necessarily visit the dungeon, but there it is. One of the few areas that's actually, stone wall, so I guess that's good. And it looks like there's some sort of like church or cathedral over there that's stone. I'd like to go visit that. Oh, that's the arena. Okay. Well, let's head inside here. Okay. This isn't too bad. I actually like this layout a lot more than I prefer the one down in Karis. Granted, this looks, almost identical to... where have we been where this was essentially the same thing? Was that our original holding that had this kind of same layout? I don't remember the name of it, but it was the little castle that we started off with. I think the layout was similar there, but I do like this better. It doesn't have like several floors that go all the way up. It's much simpler layout, much more straightforward. If we go upstairs, it looks like there's just kind of a mezzanine here on this side. This one wraps around to what looks to be the Lord's bedroom. Heckard's hanging out in here. This would be my bed. We swing around this way. There is another staircase. Curious to see where that goes. Nowhere. Just a dead end. Okay. Well, again, certainly simpler than the Lord's Hall in Karis. Maybe not as regal or fancy, but still, there's something to be said for just a very Spartan home like this. And this is where we would rule from, right here. Yeah, I don't mind it too much. We do have a chest hidden behind us. Not hidden necessarily, but kind of stashed away back here. Not that we can actually put anything there. Okay, so let's look at our town management now. Okay, so if we look at what's currently queued up, it looks like fortifications are the top priority, and I would agree with that. I'm not going to change it. It's pretty far along, too. Only, 26% to go? 74% done. We have 24 more days. So, yeah, that's not bad at all. I would be pretty pleased with that. Then it looks like, what is next? Workshops. I'm good with that, too. You guys don't have some of this other stuff built. So I would probably throw Militia Barracks in there next, because I would like our militia to be most of what forms the garrison, so I don't have to worry about stocking it with troops. And then morale is fine. I'll probably go with irrigation, though, just because by the time we get to this, morale's not really going to be an issue. If we were starting with this right now, if we weren't worried about building anything, I think morale would be the way to go, because we did just take this place. They're probably not super happy with us. But food typically is the more important thing down the line. And so by the time that irrigation is actually being, at the top of the queue, food will probably be the only issue. There's a lot of stuff I'll probably jump ahead of it, though, because they have almost nothing built here. It looks like we're out of food. I think that will change relatively quickly. So we're at minus 36 now, but that should flip as soon as the effects of the siege wear off. I could even throw some money in here to kind of boost this. So I've got 187,000. I could throw, 10,000 in there? And that's going to cut this time in half. I think I'm good with that. The sooner we have proper walls here, the better. Yeah, let's do that. And then, of course, as far as shops go, we have the oil press, we have a brewery, and we have a pottery merchant, or potter, whatever. Bound villages, there's 2, one of which is producing flax, the other is producing grain. So I don't know how valuable some of these are going to be. Like the oil press, where are they going to get olives from? We should have like a weavery, probably. The brewery is fine because we do have grain. And I don't know about a potter either. So I think what I'd like to do is change this oil press into a weavery. And that'll be my my investment that I own here. Okay, so here I am at the olive press, which again is just outside of the Lord's Hall. And this is what I'm going to turn into a weavery. Let's go ahead and... Actually, I think I can ask you what kind of workshop would be best here. From my understanding of the region and the current political climate, I think we'd make the most money as a tannery. That's just a guess, though, not a promise. Interesting. So you're saying a tannery would be better, but you don't really have a supply of skins or hides, just flax. So I think flax would be the more long-term beneficial thing to build here. I have to say good day, otherwise he thinks that I own this for some reason. But we're going to buy it. It's going to cost me 14k, that's fine. I got plenty. And I think we're going to do the linen weavery. Coarse flax is weaved into useful linen in this workshop. Many folks buy it for general use. It's also essential for making garments and armor in other workshops. Are you sure you want to open a linen weavery? Yes, I am positive. Okay. So I don't know if we'll necessarily see better armor show up in the merchant stalls now. We may need to upgrade other things. You do have a smithy here, right? Or do I need to build one? I might buy... Like, the pottery shop doesn't really make sense. So I might buy the pottery shop and turn that into a smithy. Because I don't think there is one. And I'd like decent gear to be available at all of my places, all of my holdings. So for now, I'm not going to do that because I don't know that Sargot is necessarily going to remain mine. The olive press, I'm definitely going to turn into a weavery though, because I'd like to have at least one business investment in every town in our kingdom, just to help us continue making money, which we're already doing pretty well. But yeah, we'll consider that. So speaking of our investments and whatnot, let's take a look at just how much money we're making. So we obviously have like 160, it should actually say 164k because that should round up. I don't know why it didn't. Anyway, from Karis and Sargot, we're making like 1,600 dinars in taxes. And then from our villages combined, it looks like we're maybe making another 800 or so, maybe 1,000. I'm not going to do that math, but yeah, another little bit there. Our tannery in Karis is doing pretty well. The oil press is barely scraping by though, unfortunately, which is actually really interesting because Karis is completely surrounded by villages producing olives. So you would think they would have no problem pumping out olive oil and making money, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We're making something from Leanna's party exceed gold. I don't know what that means, but it's netting us a nice little bit there. Roland's party wages and Leanna's party wages are cutting in for another like 11 or 1200. That's our biggest expense, it looks like, is my party, which makes total sense. And then our garrisons for another little bit. All in all, though, we're making almost 3,000 per, what is that, daily income? So that's pretty good. We're making plenty of profit here. We can essentially max out our party size and not worry about not being able to pay our men. We can also max out our garrisons and, you know, be in kind of the same situation. So that's great. Hopefully, the weavery we built here adds to that rather than subtracting from it, or, you know, breaking even like the olive press. So our finances seem to be pretty well in order. So to end this episode, on this most auspicious day, our son was born, I think technically autumn 3rd. I'll have to check. but it could have been very early in the morning on autumn 4th. But not only was our first son just born, but we just took a new city and expanded our kingdom, which I think we can now call a kingdom. Before I was calling it a duchy because we only had one town, but now that we have two, I feel like we can call ourselves a proper kingdom. Maybe a petty kingdom, but a kingdom nonetheless. So it's time to celebrate with a good old go at the arena. So let's start this tournament here. We're going to go ahead and join. All but one of our lords is here. And we have a couple of potential companions as well. Looks like we're fighting over a horse. Okay. A horse that I can't ride, but a horse nonetheless. I'll wager some money just to raise the stakes a bit here. I don't stand to gain much, but it's more fun with money on the line. Oh, it looks like I'm starting with a crossbow. We'll go ahead and shoot that guy. I don't like you pointing that at me. A little bit late there. Okay, yellow team just completely slaughtered blue team. So that's great. I'm going to shoot this guy. Just so that... who is that on horseback? Could be Garvey. Oh, don't you do it. Ah, that was so close. Come on. Just a little bit behind. Looks like green team is the real threat here, so I'm going to start shooting at green. Because I can't afford to have them rolling at us with all three of their remaining people. Especially if I lose Garvey. I thought for sure that would hit. Damn. Just a little bit behind on all my shots. There we go. You know what? Where'd that horse go? I wouldn't mind stealing a horse. Okay, so Garvey is out. And I find myself in a bit of a predicament here. It's too bad I missed that. Yeah, where did that other horse go? Ah, I see it. I think I see it. Yeah. I'm going to steal a horse. Because otherwise I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. Probably still in a bit of trouble, but if I can move around, I'll be a little bit more safe. I can't fire the crossbow from horseback, however. Ouch. So I'm going to be stuck just using the sword. Oh, they clipped me. Well, we still get to advance because our team came in second, but I would have liked to have won that. We'll wager again. Again, I don't stand to gain much there, but still more fun this way. Okay, so it looks like 4 on 4. 2 crossbowmen and 2 swordsmen on each side. I'm going to try not to eat a crossbow bolt here. And, oh, I'm going after my wife, I guess. Wow. Garvey went down pretty quick there. I'm probably not going to last very long either because I don't have a whole lot of health. But they seem to be getting in each other's way. Nope, don't do it. Okay, crossbowman got Leanna. I took out the swordsman, and just like that, it's 2 on 2. I'm the only one with a shield left, though, so that's at least something. Ooh, double hit there. And it looks like my mercenary horseman's providing some decent backup with the crossbow. And there it is. So we take the victory. Good job, mister. Okay, so now it's going to be 1-on-1. Oh, we've got to go against Garvey. Okay. Pretty much wagering money for no reason at this point. But let's see what we got here. Sword and board, 1-on-1. Definitely the most advantageous arrangement for me. There we go. And now we're up against Althgar the Loud. Can we win this? I've never met Althgar. Oh, and it's billhooks. I only have enough hit points to survive like one shot too. Maybe not even one shot, so we'll see how we do. Pretty well, actually. Cool, so we win. We get a horse that we don't really need. And, wow, our renown is skyrocketing. We're almost at 600 now. I need to see what our clan tier is. Before I forget, I should probably change my weapons back as well, but I can do that off camera. In the meantime, let's take a look at our clan. We're at tier 3. We need to be at 900 to hit tier 4. It's good to know. Let's see. So, at the next tier, or this is the current tier. I think it's current tier. Yeah. So at the current tier, we gain +1 to clan party size, which means we can have one more party in our clan. And for every party that we have in our clan, we gain +15 to the party limit. So how many do I currently have? I have 2. I could create 3, and if I create a third, that'll give us an additional +15 to both of their capacities. Now, I'm not even approaching my capacity, so that's not really a concern. But if we were so inclined, and I could afford it, for example, I could let Garvey or Istin lead another party, and we would be able to roll out in pretty considerable force, which would definitely be helpful because the other, let's see, I was going to say the other clans in our kingdom, or clan I should say, is not able to field a whole lot. So we have Heckard and Peric, both of which can only field like 50 or 60 men, it seems. I've never seen them with more than that. Maybe they could go higher, they just can't quite find the troops to do it. But yeah, you know what? I'd like to improve our relations with them so they don't run off. So let's throw some influence their way. What's our current relationship with them? -14, it looks like. So if I do that, it's going to give me a +2 for 50 influence. That's a bit poor, I would say, but what are you going to do? And I think the last thing we'll do, let's look at policies. I was able to invest in a couple. So we have Sacred Majesty, which gains me more influence per day. The Royal Guard, which massively increases my party size, and again gives me some more influence per day. So is there anything that I would like to implement right now? Let's see. Royal Commissions would let me lead armies at a lesser cost, but probably not going to get a whole lot of support there because, you know, it's going to be detrimental to every other lord. However, I don't think they have enough influence to really stop me from passing this. So I might try to push it through anyway. Royal Privilege is something I might consider as well, while we still have very few vassals. So this is going to allow me to override popular decisions more easily, which I think is something, if we're arranging this in sort of a monarchy, makes a lot of sense. We would, of course, have the final say. In our other playthrough, we're trying to set this up as a what do you call it? More republic style of government. That might not be something that we do. Actually, I might do it anyways, just because if the lords try to do something stupid, I'd like to, you know, not have too much trouble overriding it. But definitely here, I think, you know, if we're setting ourselves up, styling ourselves as a king, future emperor, we should be able to have final say. Senate, probably won't do a Senate here, but a Lord's Privy Council makes a lot of sense. I think for now, let's try to get royal privilege while it's still attainable. So I'm going to propose that. And if I say yes, can I not invest more? Oh, are they overriding me because there's 2 of them? It doesn't seem that I can throw more influence behind this. Or it looks like I can override it anyways. It's just going to cost me more, right? So 100% of lords vote no. There's only 2 and they're both from the same clan. But if I say yes, it happens regardless. So I'm going to say yes. And I think that cost me 100 influence. Okay, so royal privilege is now mine. And interestingly, it didn't cost me anything there. So what was kind of strange is before, when we were implementing stuff with nobody in our kingdom, it cost me like 150 every time I pushed a policy through. Now that there are lords present, it's only costing me 50. And that's even with overriding the popular decision. So that's kind of strange. I might try to come up with a few other things as well here to try to push through early. But if you guys have any suggestions for things that might help us, please throw them out, and I'll definitely try to implement them while I can. The last thing I'll do today, now that we are holding 2 towns in our kingdom instead of 1, rather than being a Grand Duchy of Karis, we're going to be the Kingdom of Karis. Karis still being our capital, at least for now. And that'll be it. And I think I might implement some new heraldry to start for the next episode as well. I'm going to do my best to make peace with the Volandians now. As tempting as it is to continue with this momentum, it's going to run out eventually, and I'd prefer to quit while I'm ahead. So I think this is a good place to stop with our war. We've got a very neatly consolidated territory. We're going to try to rebuild. We'll try to expand diplomatically. So if we can get those lords to join us and gain territory that way, that's obviously an ideal situation. And then I think our next war is going to be with the Western Empire and try to basically gobble up all of these fiefs here. And then we'll hold this little southern part of Volandia, Imperial, sort of Britannia. We may even go a bit south here before we just start expanding too far east. I'd like to, again, if this were the Mediterranean, we're going to expand in the Roman fashion where we kind of stick to the water versus conquering too deep into the mainland. Because, of course, in reality, if this were real, travel by sea would be much faster than travel by land. And so from a realism perspective, expanding around the water would make more sense, because if we needed to reinforce Ortizia, we could send a fleet there from Caris much quicker than we could march one there. March, not a fleet, but reinforcements. So that makes a lot of sense. Also, I just think it'd be more interesting than kind of conquering Volandia with a reskinned Volandian army. So yeah, speaking of armies, I am working on the troop tree for this. I'm almost done. We'll start implementing some Calradian troops relatively soon. And again, please keep submitting characters. I'm still looking for a Grand Master of our Order of Black Knights of Caris. So keep those coming as well. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Bannerlord with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.